So there we go. Boogie with the Bull, Monday morning caffeine. Good morning, everybody. Grab your cup of morning caffeine. We'll get the screen. No, that's not what I want. That's what I want. That's the screen that I want. Your morning cup and take a good swig. And we'll get today. Randy Rhodes, truck cook, could not be with us today. He is tied up, and we may or may not see him on the American Rebellion tonight.
Not literally.
He'll let us know. No, but he'll let us know later in the day what's going on, and we just send happy thoughts to him on what is happening. Zelensky. I'm looking at this whole thing going, if you're Zelensky and you hear President Trump, you should go to Europe and try to resolve this in Europe because you're part of Europe. Maybe that's what he did. Whether or not playing it in front of the American media was a good idea, that I can't tell you. But I don't buy for a minute that Vice President Vance wasn't aware that was going to happen. I may not even say that President Trump wasn't aware that it could possibly happen because it just seemed that President Trump kept saying, I'm not going to do anything for you in any attempt to broker peace until you sign the rare earth minerals deal. And we have that, and then we'll move on. And Zelensky kept saying, well, you know what? There's more to it. There's my country we got to talk about. And President Trump did that. Randy Rhodes, your thoughts on Mr. Zelensky?
Okay. Well, I've seen some reports. I'm not sure if they're accurate, but again, in the age of media being what media is, and we can only comment on what we know or have seen ourselves with our own eyes and ears, and hopefully that what we see and read and hear is true commentary. But I saw one commentary that indicated that prior to Zelensky meeting with Trump in the famous Oval Office knockout, that he met the Democrats, and the Democrats told Zelensky, "Do not take the mineral deal." So the commentary of that article was that he was going into that meeting with Trump and with Vance, and with the attitude that he was not going to sign any agreement where he gives up the rights to his minerals. Now, having said that, I watched the whole 13 minutes, whatever it was, of the exchange between Zelensky and Trump and Vance. God, I hate to say it, but I think Trump and Vance were wrong. The guy's at war for 3.5 years. He's lost, 500,000 or more of his people. Many more are wounded. A good portion of his country is in shambles. So, first off, showing up in a suit and tie, I think it'd be a disgrace to his soldiers who are fighting in uniform, and to his people who are probably not even able to do laundry, let alone put on clean clothes. So I can see why he showed up wearing essentially a nicer form of fatigues.
Yeah.
But
well, I don't mean to interrupt you other than to say he says he's dressing that way because he's basically the commander-in-chief. His country is at war. He has said that his country has been at war with Russia since 2014, before the 2015 election started. President Putin and Russia had invaded his country, to which Trump kind of responded, no, I think it was 2015. And Zelensky said, no, it was 2014. And then Trump looked at him and kind of said, well, I wasn't there. That was Biden. That was whoever. It wasn't me. And I kind of thought that was rude to Trump. So a guy, he's been at war, he's
Okay.
done his country, 3 years that Biden was at the helm of the United States, you as president, he's kind of looking at, maybe America's not going to help him.
Okay. So back to what I was trying to say is that he so for the reporter to ask, "Do you own a suit?" I think was rude, improper, and the guy should have been thrown out.
It,
Let me finish, please.
it was funny.
It wasn't funny. It was another slap in the face halfway through the commentary between Trump, Vance, and him. So I think he was wrong for asking, "Do you wear a suit?" And then they had a back and forth as what kind of suit should you wear. The guy's at war, and I can see him not wanting to wear a suit, so no biggie on that. The At least our leader doesn't bend down like Obama did and kiss the feet of another leader. But having said that, so he's in this meeting. He comes in there. Maybe he did have a meeting with the Democrats. Maybe the Democrats did tell him don't take the deal, but I think what Trump should have done. Trump was hedging our bet. He wanted Zelensky to sign a document, whereas he has given over control of half of or more of the minerals in his country to profit the United States to nothing. I saw like $1 trillion. Okay. Um, that I think was his bargaining tool for first off to get paid back the money that we already gave them. But perhaps if Zelensky would have listened, maybe the other part of that deal was okay, if you sign over the rights to the minerals, that makes us a vested partner in the survival of your nation. And now we have the realization that we can put boots on the ground to protect our mineral rights, because we'll have to have people there and so forth. So maybe that's what Trump was thinking. But they were on the attack. The fans started the attack. I think there was pettiness on his part, so far as saying, "Oh, have you said thank you? Have you said thank you? No, have you said thank you?" And it's like, well, what are we petty that we have to have thank yous for all the stuff that we've done? Of course, I think he said thank you at some point in time. Let's get the deal done, and then worry about thank yous and wearing suits. So now what? So now what happened? So Zelensky runs to Europe. Europe gives him everything he wants.
Right.
Gave him like $2 billion or more, and now they gave him access to 500,000 or 5,000 missiles. Plus England and Canada are saying if we need to, we will put boots on the ground and planes in the air, which now puts two NATO countries at least at war with Russia. It gives Russia the right to bomb the shit out of those European countries. Zelensky got what he wanted.
Well,
NATO involved in the war.
Not necessarily, because like I said before we went by, President will just walk NATO because he doesn't want to be in NATO anyway. The United States is everybody's dues still, or the most of everybody's dues still. So, and he doesn't want to do that. So he leaves natives in NATO that he really wanted to have bargaining ability with was Russia, because he wanted to be able to prevent Russia from starting the Third World War. I don't think Zelensky has any intention of doing anything to start any war, period. End of sentence. What I think Zelensky is saying is, hey, United States, you bullied me enough. Whether or not Biden bullied him or just bent over and gave him $350 billion is another thing. Whether that had anything to do with the money operation or money laundering operation going on there, I don't know. And at this moment, maybe Zelensky came to his senses and said, hey, your brothers and sisters, as well as England and France and Canada, are all showing some interest, and I've got something that puts really bad. So if I make that available to my brothers in England and Canada, as well as Europe, they're all going to be on my side. I've got a big amount of liquid natural gas that I can make available to them. I could probably sell it lower than Russia. I think in the long run, what you're going to hear is Zelensky and Putin work something out. Because at this point, I think Putin may say to Trump, I've had enough of the games you have to play around the world to get people to do things with you, the United States, and do things with me. I'm the head of Russia. If you don't like what I'm going to do, I'm not going to come to Washington, D.C. and tell you in a room full of reporters that you can bend over and do whatever. I'm just not going to come. Because Trump has even said Democrats dragged Putin into stuff that they claimed he did. Russia, Putin, and none of it was Putin. So there may come a time very quickly where Putin just says, you know what, Donald, leave me alone. I'm fully capable of running Russia however I want. Also, I read before we went on that Ukaine flew a bunch of drones into Russia and did some major damage. I don't know if it's true.
Well,
because there were no pictures.
Yeah, there is.
Someone wrote
there's pictures. From what the news is saying is that he hit some of their oil supply dumps. Again, hitting the oil refineries, it's not only hurting Russia, but last I heard, Germany was still getting oil from Russia. So
they are where they can buy oil from out there. I don't know, because I don't know whatever other NATO countries that are out there that want to get in have as far as I believe Germany sells LNG, as does Russia. And
I just don't know why Russia has not launched their high altitude, long distance bombers that can't be touched by any drones or any ground to air missiles or whatever, and just drop a shitload of bombs on Ukraine. I mean, what the hell's keeping them from doing that? That's going to bring the war to an end. It's non-nuclear.
It'll bring the war to an end, but everybody in NATO is going to have to leave NATO to avoid having to be a party to that. And then Putin will probably leave it too, and Putin will help them in Europe, Eastern Europe, form something that will probably in the long run be greater than NATO, because it's the people, it's the leaders of those countries all getting together with. If Russia goes in and drops everything to Ukraine and takes it off the map, makes it a parking lot, I believe the rules of war say you're responsible for helping us rebuild.
Well, obviously, I mean that's the standard. That you blow up my country and you take control, you're going to have to rebuild the cities, and they know that.
And well, they do, but maybe that's the game that Putin is playing with the world, because we haven't heard anything from Putin. All we've heard is Donald Trump saying, I want these, you got to sign this mineral deal with me before I do anything. And I'm not saying that my support of President Trump has changed in any way, other than I think he blew this one. I think he gave Zelensky a one-on-one course in the art of the deal, and Zelensky came back and said, you know what, Mr. President, buy me, because I don't really need you. You need me. You need all of the minerals that are in my country, and you're not going to come to my country to get them. He's not going to. The United States of America, I don't believe, is going to launch a war with Ukraine to try to end up getting control of Ukraine and control of those rare earth minerals. Why? Because I believe that everybody else in Europe is going to be looking at looking at this will be the United States attacking Eastern Europe. I don't think Russia's going to allow it. And boots on the ground, from what I understand, security force at the mining operation, not enough of a security operation to keep a war. Because again, it seems that Trump is really concerned about is getting that mineral deal.
Well,
And I think he showed that.
At this point, I don't think we need those minerals because he just passed a law last night opening up our woods for the lumber. So he said, Canada, we don't need your wood. We got our own wood. And I just opened up millions of acres of land to start being mined of the wood. And of course, we don't need the oil because we have plenty of oil and natural gas goes with that. It's just some of the other minerals that we might, want access to. But
this is a lot. We need, they have lithium. We need lithium. They have. I don't have the whole list in front of me of everything. They have things that we don't, and gas and oil is not going to be the only thing that's going to help. I mean, they've got, Russia's over there. Russia's selling oil. The Saudis will probably sell oil to Eastern Europe. So it,
because right now, people in England are saying to the king that he should rescind the second invitation for Trump to come pay him a visit. Personally, I think, my personal opinion, my gut reaction is if that England is going to go against our desires to end the war and they want to continue the war, then fine, have your war. I don't need to pay a visit to your damn country. I got more important things in my calendar to do than come sit down and drink tea with you.
Well, if he says that to Chuck, Chuck is still, depending on who you talk to, Chuck is still holding a lot of paperwork that says that he's the owner of the United States of America. Whether or not it's true, whether or not it's money, other countries around the world, everybody could say, hey, you got to pay us now. BlackRock and Citicorp being one of the largest banking companies in the world, I don't think is going to, and BlackRock, we all know, I don't think they're paying much attention. BlackRock and Citicorp evidently are over there with $13 billion trying to launch a new banking system for Ukraine. And I'm sure that new banking system includes the same money laundering abilities that were in the previous one.
Speaking of money laundering, folks, I don't know if you guys saw this image that came out of supposedly from Ukraine, talking about the kickback money. So all the money that we gave Ukraine, and people are wondering what happened to it. Well, here's an idea where some of it went to. According to Ukrainian officials, they released this document indicating kickback money to Democrat politicians. Joe Biden got $92 million. Mm-hmm. Mitch McConnell got $89 million. Nancy Pelosi got $86 million. Chuck Schumer got $66 million. Mm-hmm. Lindsey Graham got $82 million. Mitt Romney got $71 million. Yeah. John Connolly got $41 million. Adam Schiff got $62 million. Dan Crenshaw got $20 million. Elizabeth Cheney got $77 million. And Kevin McCarthy got $42 million.
The question will be whether or not the Democrats in control of the party will sell out Schumer, whether or not they'll sell out McConnell. I mean, whether or not they'll sell out Schiff, whether or not they will sell out any Democrat that is listed has yet again. There's nothing to stop Zelensky and his people from contacting the Department of Justice and saying, hey, I got all this information, on what we've been doing with people in your country, and it may or it may not be legal. Because, I mean, you can be paid money to represent a foreign nation, but you have to declare it. And I'm sure none of them declared that they were
Well,
representing.
yeah, can you imagine them declaring that? Jeez, come on, really?
Right. Well, I'm sure they didn't declare it. So, that's illegal. I keep saying to people that my biggest concern with this whole thing, with the Epstein whole thing, with all these other whole things that are going to hit the fan all at once, is that by the time it's said and done, we won't have a Congress because everybody will have been arrested for something.
No,
You know,
I'm sorry. To be honest with you guys, I don't believe any Democrats are going to be arrested. Period. I'm sorry, I don't see it happening. I really don't.
well,
I
then
mean,
you
look
got
at me. Bonte says, "Oh, I'm going to release all the information about the Epstein file." Blah 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 blah. And then when he got it, it was nothing. It was a nothing burger. Some people would say. Um, the uh,
I
the
think
fact
someone
that
higher than Bondi said to her, "What you really need to do is wait and let us make the arrests before you announce. Because if you do this before, you'll blow the operation because these people will figure out or have already figured out how to get out of here." And if they're out of here, then we have to figure out whether or not there's somewhere where we can, order extradition or force extradition back to the
that's a smack in her
U.S.
face. Here she is, head of the FBI and the head of the Attorney General, and she's telling her people to release the information, and they don't. And Cash Patel, I mean, he has to look stupid right now because that's his people. Um,
Yep.
and I'm still seeing and hearing how the damn left wing judges are preventing Trump from doing his damn job. He's trying to fire people. He can't even fire people because oh, this is my job. I'm going to fight you. And sure enough, the guy takes it to court, and the court says, yeah, he can't fire you. Blah blah blah. But bullshit. Come on, everybody get fired.
You can get fired, but there are ways. I mean, I'm not saying it was right. I'm not saying it was wrong. I'm just saying in some cases there are rules to how you can fire people. You can't just go in and say, everybody, you're fired. Get the hell out. Your key cards don't work anymore. Leave all of your computers and
Well,
everything.
but
Just get out of here.
unless you're in a state that has a no what's that? It's called a no hire. No, not no hire. Oh, what's the states where they don't need a reason to fire your ass? They just fire you. I know.
Well, but that's hard. That's hard to deal with when your state has has a has an SEI union representing federal government workers, and the federal government workers have a contract. It usually spells out how you can and can't be fired, what has to happen, this, that, the other thing. I'm not saying any of it is right, but we're I just think right now we're in such a big mess right now that the last thing President Trump needed to do was try to push that raw earth minerals deal to a man who may not necessarily need it. And, even as far as the vice president saying, well, didn't you go and talk to the Democrats to try to get some nice words? And or opposition, he actually said opposition, didn't you go to the opposition and try to get some nice words, this, that, and the other thing? Because I was sitting there looking at my screen, watching it as Vance said it, and said, well, didn't Robert F. Kennedy Jr., our Secretary of Health and Human Services, do exactly the same thing? He went to the Harris campaign and tried to pledge his loyalty to them. They didn't want anything to do with him. He went to Trump, and they worked out
Where's my
something.
toothbrush? It's probably in the closet.
But
Asking for a toothbrush.
okay, I don't pay any attention. But what I'm saying is Kennedy did exactly the same thing. He played both sides against the middle to see whichever he could get to deal with, because he got to deal with, he wanted to be able to do what he wanted to do. The Democrats didn't have any interest in what he wanted to do, so they said, they stubbed him. So he went to Trump, and we won the election.
I'm going to do it. Before I run out of time here, I want to do a quick shout out to Facebook in general. I don't know if anybody, if the person I'm trying to find is watched or not. Last week, I received in the mail an envelope with my name on it, handwritten. It was local to Lancaster, Harrisburg area. And inside was a yellow piece of paper. And inside that yellow piece of paper, the $20 bill. That was it. No words, no names, nothing. So I had no idea who sent it to me. And then this past Saturday, a similar size envelope, my name written on it, from the Lancaster, Harrisburg area, no return address. Inside the envelope was another yellow piece of paper, and inside that yellow piece of paper, another $20 bill. I can't say enough that the money is very needed for my family. I would love. I don't know who to say thank you to, but if the person is watching the show, thank you so very much.
The show, please go on to a Randy Rhodes and unveil yourself if that's what you want to do, or something. It's not that I don't appreciate people helping people. I don't want to get involved in whatever may or may not be going on.
I wasn't asking you to get involved. I was just using your format right now to say thank you to whoever is helping.
Okay. All right. So I gave you that. Use of the format, and we'll move on, only because I really don't want to get into the discussion about when people send money, they have some intent in mind, or maybe it's just they like the broadcast and they sent you $20. I hope more people like you and they send you $20. But I would recommend that you, if you're going to keep doing this on a regular basis, my last words on it are you are and what you're hoping your $20 can do. And on that note, let's get back to it, because right now we're talking about Zelensky and Ukraine, and if big money starts coming in and it's signed V. Zelensky, you might have big issues to deal with. But where are we? We're live on the Dave Glovin profile here on Facebook. We are live on the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel. And if you like the broadcast, thumbs up. If you don't like the broadcast, thumbs down. Either way, you like it or you don't, make a comment as to why you did like it or why you didn't like it. And please share the broadcast either way. If you don't like it, share it, because a lot of times someone shares it and say they didn't like it and more people watch it. And if you do the opposite and say you liked it, then a lot of people don't. It's politics and whatever comes out of our mouths. I got to write it down. I do have it written down, but that's what it is. It's live with me and Randy Rhodes this morning. And where were we? Where were we, Mr. Rhodes?
Talking about why I don't think that Trump did right by Zelensky and J.D. Vance.
Okay. Okay.
I personally don't believe that he treated Zelensky properly. I think he did it deliberately in front of cameras to put on a show. It was 2 against 1. Obviously, there was some language barrier going on there. I think that conversation should have been taken.
I believe what I read is Zelensky learned, I don't know if it was in Russia or offered in Ukraine, he has the highest level of being able to speak and comprehend English. And, I don't doubt that he didn't understand what was being said or what was going on. Yes, I'm sure if he said something negative about Vance, he said it in Ukrainian, hoping that no one in the room understood what he was saying. Also, what people need to understand is that press conference was not the actual meeting. If you listened to the whole 20 minutes or however long it was before it ended, Trump said several times, we're leaving, going to lunch. He didn't say where. He and Zelensky, probably McDonald's, people have said. After that, they were going to the East Room of the White House to have the actual negotiating session.
That wouldn't be correct because they were saying that.
It is correct.
Hold on. Zelensky left the meeting before taking lunch because Trump said to reporters that there was a lunch made for Zelensky. He did not partake, and the food is there for all of you to enjoy.
Right. But the meeting, okay, there were no negotiations planned at that press conference. It's usually customary, sometimes before a meeting with the president, sometimes after the meeting with the president, sometimes both, that there is a press conference. And Trump did say several times that after this, he and I are going to lunch. Then we're going to the East Room, which is where we will basically do the negotiations. There was no reason. So I think Vance was out of line when he hinted around like, you trying to embarrass the president, you're trying to embarrass everybody at the White House during this meeting. They had a press conference to show that the two were going to be together. And, for reasons that are Donald Trump as president of the United States, he decided to end the meeting and kick him out of the White House. And then, so then Zelensky, while he was here, just went on and did whatever he was going to do. He went to Hannity, he went to wherever, and then he left the country and went to wherever he was going. In England, England, or Canada, England, and then wherever. Again, I could be wrong, and there are people in the Trump administration that might be able to explain this whole thing to me. I just got the impression that the main thing on Donald Trump's mind was working out that rare earth minerals deal before anything else, almost to the point where that was the only thing he was really interested in, because that's really what it looked like. He wanted that deal worked out before he would agree to anything else. And Zelensky was on the other side of it going, whoa, 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 whoa. I'm not going to sell half my country's raw earth minerals to you with no promises of how you're going to help my country, because I've been at war with this guy since 2014.
Yeah, I agree. Zelensky's all Zelensky's going is okay. If I'm going to turn over half of my country's mineral rights to you, what are you going to do for me? And Trump was
Right.
not willing to commit to anything in that
Right.
meeting. I think that thing was wrong. I think the meeting talking about mineral rights should have been taken in a private room away from the cameras.
Well,
He
that's
did it
where
on
it was
purpose.
supposed to go. Well, of course Zelensky did it that way.
No, I'm saying Trump did.
Well, I don't. Well, Trump may have planned to give Zelensky enough rope to hang himself. Zelensky, I think, did exactly the opposite. He finally stood before the American media and said, "Hey, look, this is what I think. What we're saying here. Hey, this is what I think is going on here. I'm giving, so that the president of the United States will get on the phone with Putin and say, okay, what can we do?" And Zelensky felt that he was not going to be involved in those meetings. That part of the deal was going to be done without him, and he was going to have to accept whatever they negotiated, which means that it's not really a ceasefire. It's Zelensky, admitting he was the one who was wrong and following under whatever the United States and Russia tells him. And I don't believe for a minute that President Trump would accept that from another country, from another president. Zelensky kept saying, since the beginning of time, we've been trying to negotiate with them to get our prisoners back. We got them back. There are like 4,000 more, and we haven't heard about them. He said Russia took 25,000 children, I guess, out of Ukraine, changed their names. So Zelensky and his government can't find them and try to return them to their families. And, that what does that sound like?
Sounds like a page out of America's books. Look at all the children that have gone missing on Earth. I just saw a sickening
Yeah.
report
Sure.
where there's people who are stealing babies, stealing children, and using them as breeding factories to breed children. And when the
Yep.
children are born, they don't get birth certificates, so you can't track them, and they're using them to sell for money. I mean, our country's not doing anything that.
I'm not. Like I said, I can't go so deep into this because I don't know, and no one, we're in the small league, so no one from the Trump administration is going to come to talk about what happened from his point of view. He's not going to come here and talk about what happened from his point of view. I wish people would. So, because I'd like to throw the question, hey, if you were in the same kind of meeting where, a vice leader of a country and a president are being hostile to you and they're pushing you to do something that you're not 100% sure you want to do. And the main reason that you want him to do it is that the president before you gave a loan for $350 billion that he knew he was never going to see back. And Americans are upset about that. That's one thing. You want to give him $500 billion to do this deal with you, but you don't want to answer his questions and satisfy his security concerns. I don't. I'm not saying who's right and who's wrong, but it just sounds to me like at some point Zelensky grew a set, said, "Hey, yeah, I got this. Let me see what I can do with it before I lose 50% of it."
Yeah.
And there's no guarantee that the people of Ukraine wouldn't just decide to vote him out. Although I don't know if they can or not. People say he's a dictator, but he hasn't had an election since he got elected, and we don't hear anybody in Ukraine saying that they'd like an election, but whether there is or not, we don't know.
Yeah, well, let's see what else is our top. Let's get off that. Let's see.
Okay.
Norway government breaks silence after major supplier says no longer refuel U.S. Navy ships. The Norway's government says it's full of shit. That's not quite what it is. That is a particular provider says they won't because of the way Trump treated Zelensky, but that the Norway will continue to service our Navy ships as per our arrangement. So no problems there. Let's see.
Well, does that mean that they're not going to send ships from that country along that route that might have to refill Navy ships?
No, they're not.
If you pull in and your tank is empty, what happens?
Well, no, Norway government said they'll continue to refuel our ships. It's that particular supplier got their hand slapped, so I don't see any problems there. Let's see. Elon Musk, his space plane made a trip around the orbit of our planet successfully, didn't blow up, returned to Earth. So it's a step in a much bigger looks into flying to Mars. I'm going to book tickets on the first trip there. Let's see.
There may be something more interesting. I think it's PB2. Looks like a planet that no one knew was out there, and it could have had life, or it could be getting ready to have life, or it may even have life. And if that happens, then he may drop his plan to get to Mars very quickly because I believe, he is either getting ready to or has already shot a space telescope up that's going to hopefully gather more information on this. But yeah, at some point he does want to colonize Mars. He wants to colonize other planets. He said that he wants, we shouldn't be, and he doesn't think that we are the only form of life in our solar system.
I won't go. I will go with this. With the whole war situation with Ukraine and Russia, it's kind of hard to say what all is real and fake until you see some video. But then you have to take consideration where's the video coming from. So I'm looking at some video. The Abrams 1 tank was supposed to be at the time our top tank, okay, for combat. And in the hands of American crews, they did a hell of a job in Afghanistan and so forth. So we gave our best of our best tank to Ukraine to use against Russia. But apparently, they don't know how to make use of the tanks because I'm looking at video after video after video of the Abrams 1 tanks being destroyed by drones, being taken capture and next to new pristine conditions. So Russia can take them back and tear it apart and build it and see how they can destroy our tanks. But again, like I said before, when these generals don't know how to fight a war. I'm saying for both Russia and Ukraine, they're sending these damn tanks out there by I'm looking at these videos. These tanks are out there by themselves. No other form of protection. And that's just not the way to fight a war. I mean, World War II was a ace way of fighting. You send tanks out there with infantry to be on the ground alongside the tanks to take out any their infantry or help to defend the tank. Because the tank is more or less, other than a couple of holes in the armor, it's pretty much blind. And they can't see the damn drones overhead. They can't see from far away distance. So they're out there by themselves and they're not being protected. And it's why we're giving them millions of dollars and freaking the best of the best, and they're just pissing it away. I'm sorry to use that word, but that's what they're doing.
Well, if they're getting the drones far enough into Russia to drop bombs and do some heavy damage.
Yeah, again, correct. I mean, what the hell's going on with this war?
Either somebody's lying or they're getting in there, and perhaps Mr. Putin is not as upset as we think he should be, because I've been saying all along, if he wanted to end this thing, he could have ended this thing before it even started.
Exactly. Exactly.
I
don't know why they're dragging this war out.
Was he getting an envelope full of money every time Zelensky got money? I don't know. Was he telling Zelensky where to bomb because they were going to blow it up and collect insurance money? Then who the hell knows?
It's just like I said. I mean,
they have been saying. Shit, I lost my thought. Go ahead.
Like I've been saying, I mean, Putin can fly his high altitude bombers up in the stratosphere where they can't be touched. You drop the damn bombs and the war is over. It's almost like he's trying to use up all his old equipment, use up all the soldiers who are either old or incapable of doing the job the best of their ability. To get to where he has only brand new equipment and brand new soldiers. I mean, it's like he wants to drag this war out as far as he can, as long as he can, to use up as much equipment as you can. I mean, there's no reason for this war to be ended, taking this long, for God's sake. None.
Well, no, I don't know. Like I said and have said a few times, no one has heard from Putin. They've only heard Trump saying, this and that, and I'm going to get an agreement for peace from Putin. Well, I'm sorry, but maybe it's time for Mr. Putin to come out and say what he wants to say. And I mean, I I don't see, unless the two of them change hearts, what's how it's going to end peacefully. But if President Trump is right and they're killing 2,000-3,000 people a week between both sides, that's pretty sad, and they need to figure it out and end it, and and there's peaceful ways they can do it. I mean, if he's got all of this minerals and he's got LNG, and maybe he's got other things that Russia needs, why blow the hell out of the country? Why not just work an agreement out with him? Or get your allies to come in and help you, and do what you can so that it doesn't end up. I don't know.
Anyways, war is war, and I mean, we still have towns in the southern states that are still totally been destroyed by the weather that have not yet been rebuilt. You would think by now we get the engineers from the Army and the U.S. Army engineers out there. You get American business out there to rebuild these damn towns. It wouldn't take that long, for God's sake. Or am I wrong for thinking that should be a short time frame?
Well, I'm just reading a comment that didn't make it onto the screen yet. I'm not sure, and I don't know for what reason, but Michael Stewart says Russia is pulling out. Ukraine is pulling the wool over everyone's eyes. Trump told it already. Russia can take over Ukraine anytime they want. Nobody could stop them. That's very true, but that's also what you just said, Randy, that, and everybody has said, if Putin really wanted it, it would have been done already. Because even Trump said to Zelensky, if you didn't have me, this could be done in 2 weeks. And Zelensky looked at him and said, no, Putin told me it could have been done in 2 days. Well, it's now, 3 years and 2 days. As far as Trump's been with it, it's 3 years and 2 days. Why isn't it over yet? What does Russia want? They obviously don't want to do any more damage than they've done. So what is it that they want?
Well, I thought they wanted,
aside from him signing the owners, the title and giving it back to him. But I mean, within reason, what does Putin want?
I thought Putin wanted access to the ocean for his Black Sea Navy, but even his damn Navy's taking a hellacious kicking because of the drones that England's given to Ukraine. I'm sorry, I think Russia has the right to bomb England. I do.
Well, okay, but I don't think he's going to do that at this point. He'll if anything, he'll just go fly over Ukraine and he'll blow the hell out of Ukraine, and it won't do any good for anybody. And I don't think that Russia and Canada and England and France are going to muscle together and fly over Russia and do the same thing, because then he's probably got enough allies if they ally with him to go over and do that. And I don't think he wants to destroy Europe, because his plan is to expand and consolidate it all under Russian control anyway. But maybe he's going to have to understand that that's not going to happen anymore. But until he until he stands before a camera and microphone and the rest of the world shuts up and listens to what he has to say.
Yeah.
None of us
I,
None of us know. I don't think I don't know. I don't know if Putin has to come to the United States to sign the agreement, because I don't think he'll come. I think he'll just say, nope, you guys are more than welcome to come here, and I'll make sure everybody is safe while they're here, or pick a third country where we can all go to where everybody will be safe. But no, I'm not going to step. I can't. I can see Putin saying, no, I'm not coming into the United States. I'm not giving Zelensky or any crazy Ukrainian a chance to knock me off, or anyone crazy in the United States the opportunity to knock me off. But I could be wrong. Would create a lot of weird views between people that normally watch Boogie with the Bull, because, again, I respect President Trump. I respect what he does, but I'm not sure in this situation that it appears that first part of this is to give his country away, and in the long run, it may come back and bite Zelensky in the ass, or give the mines away. I don't know. I don't know where the mines are located and all of that, but I don't know. That's all I can say. I don't know.
I think what Russia needs to do right now is try and grab as much land as they have, secure it with their soldiers to, keep control over it, and then go to the bargaining tables. Okay, look, let's bring the war to an end. I keep what I got. You got what you got left over, and that's it. We're done. I think that's what he needs to do.
Well, there's going to be a little bit more, because, like I said, Zelensky was very concerned on they had signed all the agreements at some point over periods of this war, that prisoners were supposed to be returned, and evidently Zelensky says he did return who he was supposed to return, and he did not get on that. And I think he needs to come clean on that, because that, to me, that would be a deal breaker. You came in and took 25,000 children that now have families that are don't know where their children are, and that's not part of. That may not be part of war. I don't know. I've never read the books. I've never had someone sit down and tell me what the rules of war are. But knowing the world the way it is, if you came in and took 25,000 children, I think you're responsible to return the 25,000 children. But I don't know. What do you think? Did I lose you? I don't have any audio of you on you, Randy. Nope. Nope. I can't hear you. No. Let me try this and have you come back in and see if that helps. Come right back in. No, I didn't mute you, but try this. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna knock you out. Now come back in. Hold on, I gotta type this in so he'll see it, because he can't hear me. Well, he's not here, so he may not see this. No. Anyway, I love having Randy on here. We do have some. I do still have some hidden issues buried way inside of Tron that I don't know if we're ever going to find again. Let me see if Randy has. Are you back?
Oh, Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh yes. Anyways, I saw some video, and I'm not sure. Again, when you see video, you have to take it with a grain of salt. But I was showing video of Ukrainian soldiers out in the streets, pulling people, men, military-aged men, off the streets, throwing them inside the back of a car, and taking them off to be recruited and trained and thrown into combat. I also saw a video, Russian soldiers who had prisoners, and one of the prisoners was a Ukrainian man of adult age who was had Down syndrome. So if Zelensky is down to stealing men off of the street and making use of people with various illnesses like Down syndrome to put in the uniform, that shows that he's getting to the end of the bucket, and that's why I think he once again is coming out asking for Europe or the United States to put boots on the ground because he is running out of men. It's just plain and simple.
I don't know why any leader of any country would do that. I wouldn't have put it past Hitler in World War II. If if he thought that was the best thing to do, maybe he would have done it. But I don't see why any leader would say it's okay to put a gun in someone's hand who has no idea what it is, and hope that they can defend you. But that would bother me. That would bother me to the point where if it's proven, I don't know how you penalize Zelensky. But then again, it's like you said, it's like we've said, things are happening in Ukraine, and how we're being told something different. Vance accused Zelensky of propaganda tours when people when our government is there wanting to look around. So if that's what's going on, well, they got to stop, and everybody's got to be honest with everybody. But it still just comes back in my head to where it keeps coming back to, which is that if Putin really wanted this thing to end, he could have dropped a Moab or some other whatever and taken out, or said to Trump, I'm going to fly over and end this. And I would recommend that you pull out of NATO, and anybody else who doesn't want to be involved in this pulls out of NATO. But it's just come down to a time where, I'm going to give Zelensky it's either we sit at the table and we don't leave the table until we work it all out, or I'm going to work it all out for both of us, and then it'll be my table. And you may not like that, but this has to end. This has to end. It's going to become Afghanistan in 17 more years.
I don't know. War's never been a good thing, and I was going through. I kind of got gift up by sharing some my dad's pictures yesterday, and I forgot to make my dad's video I forgot to make my dad's video the main part of the video, so the image was bigger. Of course, halfway through, my brother sent me a message. Hey, I can't see the pictures. You need a telescope. Well, you should have told me that earlier when I fixed it. But anyways, I'll do that again later. But my dad.
I watched it.
I saw you. Yeah, well,
I didn't have any problem.
And my brother's being an asshole then. Sorry, Mike. No, but
I like to watch. I'm just
not
always in the right frame of mind to jump on somebody's broadcast and and want to be not end up being the sarcastic loving guy I am.
So you never think of the Air Force as being a military arm other than maybe the fighters. But my dad was in the Air Force, and his job was he worked the control towers, and he would radio in the planes and so forth. But he traveled a lot, and as some of the pictures you're seeing, some tanks are blowing up and others are in disarray and so forth. So he was in different wars, and the ones I was aware of was the Congo War. I know he was in the Vietnam conflict, as they call it. There are some pictures there from India, so I'm not sure why he was there in India. He was in some Asian countries as well, but yeah, when you think about your parents and your grandparents, more than likely, who were in combat, if they don't talk about it, there's a reason why they don't talk about it, because they don't want to remember,
Mhm.
the whole all the scenes in their heads of what they saw, friends they've lost, things like that. So
Yeah.
seeing my dad's pictures allows me to see a part of my dad's life that he never talked about. Um, and I'm glad I was able to share that. I was able
Yeah.
to get a CD player and got the software loaded that was required. Because when I took my parents' pictures and put them on disc, and like I said, and anybody wants the same thing, reach out to me. Like more than like I would be more than
Yeah.
happy to help you. But when I took the pictures and put them on disc and added music to it, I didn't realize, well, first off, that if I was going to share it on Facebook, I was going to get in trouble. So I did. Facebook said that we cannot, Meta cannot allow this to be shared in certain countries that we don't have access to. So, oh, whatever. Um,
Well, well, okay. When that happens, you have to look at the list of countries that they say, because when I said, like with Warner Right Digital Rights Music Group, they said to me it's like Belarus, which is like a small part of the middle of Russia somewhere that no one knows about, and one other one, and then I don't know, like 2 weeks later, I looked at it and Warner changed their mind and released their hold on everything. So you have
right.
to look at it. What I did do, I read more into fair use. Fair use does in fact include music, as long as you can show that you didn't change the music. So you could be talking negatively about something that's going in the background. And even though that may not be how the copyright holder wanted you to use it, you didn't change the music. You were just talking in
Over
a
it.
different right, in a different way than they expected you to do that. So, but I wouldn't even worry about it. There is so much
Yeah.
free copy. If you join any one of these live stream services, as you go up in money, there is so much in packages. There is so much music available that just fits right in. That no, although one person did say that they came back and told him that a piece of music that he used was in fact copyrighted. And if that was the case, then if it was me, I would have just said, "Well, you need to go talk to my live stream service because they say it's that none of the music is copyrighted." But
And so,
you know,
yeah, so the nice thing is that the software that I have loaded onto my computer, it allows me to look at the disk now and actually see the files, uh, the files of the music and the files of the
yep,
images. So now I can
yep,
separate that and just play the pictures. Of course, it
yeah.
makes for a boring conversation unless I have someone on the screen with me that I can
Well,
talk to while we're looking at TV, if you want to
yeah,
call it that. But
yeah.
yeah, so uh, uh, you, you
Well,
never know. So what I'm trying to say is, if you have grandparents who are still living and they don't want to talk about their time in the military, don't push it, because it could bring
yeah,
back bad memories of a situation they don't want to be reminded of. Now, if they're willing to talk about it, fine. Talk
yeah.
about it with
Oh
open
yeah.
ears, with love and kindness.
There there are a lot of them that will talk about it if given the
Yeah.
opportunity. There really
So
are, because they want to tell people They want to tell people because they hope that we don't end up in that situation.
Correct.
In that situation again. Let me see. It is
Yep.
11:08. I'm
Yeah,
not
I
kicking you
need to
off,
go
but
on.
I can't remember what
Yeah, I
time
got.
you said you got to go. Plus, I want to know if you can trace me back to King David. I want to know if that means that I'm actually the king of Russia
No, I
right
wouldn't
now,
think so. Uh,
or the king of
no,
Ukraine.
yeah, I don't think any of that's going to be a possibility. But like I said,
I
it's a
know. I'm
slow
just teasing
process.
you.
We have to add a whole shitload
It
of
is.
people ahead of you.
It is.
And it's just like,
Whenever you get, whenever you get to me, you
yeah,
get to me.
it's yeah,
Because I'm not paying for it, and but I will tell people. I hear Randy say all the time, there are a few people who mention my name, you know, hey, this guy lives, eats, drinks, sleeps, what he does.
yep, it
Okay,
is.
he goes to bed with laptops and
That's
iPads
the truth.
and telephones that he's using as additional screens, and this is what he does. So if you want someone who will devote the time you think you need, let him do it. If I hadn't have gotten mad at him a couple of years ago and deleted everything, he might find out that Elon Musk can't go to Mars because I own Mars.
Oh, yeah.
No,
You
but
might want to start. Might
but
want to get your lawyers on that contract. Start getting that contract ready
no, I don't.
to.
I don't. I don't. I don't. I don't. I don't want to
You
own.
don't
I
own
don't want to
Mars?
own anything. It's like I no. I kept pushing Randy, and he'll probably tell you. I kept pushing Randy because he was finding, he
Yeah.
found royalty in Jen Woodruff's family that she might actually be a princess. He found. I like to bug Jerry about this one. He is actually related to the actual
Yeah.
Mayflower Madam, the one that was on the ship, as well as the one who was in New York who stole the name.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, the one.
he was related. He was
Well,
related to
actually,
Clint
the
Eastwood.
lady in New York is actually a direct lineage of the Mayflower Madam. That's why she calls her. That's why she uses that name
Right.
because she is
Okay.
a direct
Well,
relationship.
and to me, that's interesting when you mentioned that. I share a link with another one of your customers that goes directly to King David at some time. When you have time, I'm going to want to sit down and find out about how I'm related to that
Yeah.
person and their family. And it doesn't matter if I like you or I don't. I
Yeah.
just want to know how we're
Yeah. How you
how
related?
we're
Yep.
related.
Okay. We'll talk there. See ya.
All right, Randy. Okay. All right, Randy. All right, Randy Rhodes, Radiology Services. The guy's been doing this for a long time. Okay, and he's really trying to do a good job for everybody. There's only so many minutes in the day, only so many hours in the day, so many days in the week, so many days in the month. But he does his best to dig into everybody as often as he can. And then he has the people like me who he's doing it for free who are saying, God, you just dropped a nice nut, give me a whole meal. And but he is the cheapest around that I know. I don't know anybody else. Is anybody, if there is anybody on Facebook, genealogy, maybe we'll get you and Randy on together and we'll have a genealogy-a-thon and people can decide for themselves. Chuck Cook is about a few minutes, but I want to invite Chuck. I do want to invite Chuck. So let me get this down here. And that moment to do that. One of these days, we're going to get a producer who does this format. When the intro ends at the beginning of the broadcast, you don't have to hear me or see me moving my lips and nothing's there. There's Chuck. You have the what do you call it? You have the link. So let me know if there's any problems. But come on in, and we'll do a few minutes with you. We're gonna end this. We'll see. We'll see how long because Chuck Cook is here. He didn't think he was going to make it today. I hope you're in a good location where you are. I don't want to say anything because I didn't know what you wanted me to say. I just said that you were not available and you might not be available tonight. If you want to go into more than that, it's up to you. People that love you might want to know, but I will leave it up to you.
I'm getting an echo here, Dave. I don't know if it's might be here. I don't know.
Okay. All right. Well, I had said that I don't know. I just said that you couldn't be here today. I know, and that I know some people might be watching and might want to know the rest of the story. But I will leave that. I will leave that up to you.
Oh, wait a minute. It's me, Dave. It's me. Hang on.
Okay.
Hang on.
Okay.
There we go. Okay. It was me that was causing the echo. I had it on Facebook over on the other side there.
Okay.
Yep. All right. No more echo. That was me.
All right. How's your morning going? Well, I know
it's doing okay. It looks like we're going to spend most of the day here at the hospital and possibly part of the night. She's having a procedure done, and they don't know if they're going to have to keep her overnight or not. But it is what it is.
Okay, well, yeah. Prayers and best wishes, of course.
Thank you very much. And, appreciate that.
We'll get more news as you are able to release it or want to release
it. You'd have a full panel on here.
Drop by. No, I really only wanted Randy because after you had said that you couldn't be here because it was. Sometimes I like to give Randy an opportunity to talk, even though I cut him off a lot. And this is a subject that I knew when I decided we were going to do this morning, that a lot of people might get mad because I'm supposed to be a Trump lover and I'm supposed to agree with everything that he does and not ever say anything,
right.
off the whatever.
I'm kind of sitting I'm sitting in a waiting room here, so I don't know if I could be the political stuff here or not. So
all right. Well,
but then again, who cares, right?
Sometimes that's what I do because, like I said, I ended up saying to myself, "Who cares? I'm going to come on and I'm going to come on.
I got to show you my mask here.
So
Hang on.
I hope I didn't alienate. I hope I didn't upset a lot of people. Like I said, this mask is as useless as our governor. Well, I haven't met your governor, but I understand he is pretty useless. After I don't know at what point it was that what's his name Fauci said masks, because I got to the point where, like I've said a billion times, you breathe in through the mask, you exhale into the mask. When you breathe back in, if you have it, when you breathe back in, you're reinfecting yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what is the point?
Control. It's all about control, Dave. You know that.
It is. I don't think we will ever get the whole story. I watched Andrew Cuomo, governor of New York, get grilled by Marjorie Taylor Greene recently. And he was giving 1-word, 2-word answers, if that. And I was thinking, just get up and walk out. You're not going to answer her,
Yeah.
He was going to deny everything and this and that. And, nobody's going to, we're only going to get answers when everybody decides that they want to give us answers. I don't think we'll ever see Fauci again. I hope he's out of the country, safe somewhere, or just out of the country. But
custom frames and counting. Get started.
I don't know. We are what we are. We are what we are.
Yep. I don't know if I spelled that right or not, but okay. Yeah. They'll know.
What did you not
Patriots.
Right? Patriots.
I think it's right.
Yep.
Well, when you're this old, Dave, spelling doesn't matter anyways, right?
That's right. When you're 666 years old and you own your own casino, that you cheat your grandchildren out of what they win.
Hey, the grandkids love coming over and playing this. Yeah.
Oh, I know. I
know. It teaches them that
I'm just the kind of.
It teaches them that every spin is not a winner. So.
Yeah. I'm just the kind of. I'd put a roll of quarters in for each grandkid of mine if I had them coming, and then whatever they won, it makes them happy.
Yeah.
Because maybe someday when I'm living in their house, I may have to bring my own money to spend so that I can make it look like I won the.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. No, but other than that, not a whole lot going on here. I thought I had the temperature here.
All right. Well, I appreciate you stopping by.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I try to make it. I try to make it, but there's sometimes where I'm not going to. But anyway, at least we made it today. So yeah.
I'm glad you did. And if you can make it tonight, you do. And if you can't make it tonight,
yeah.
Jerry will pay your fine.
Well, I was going to say, do I get?
But don't tell him that, because if you tell him I said that, then I'll get kicked off. And my fines will go up.
Well, I was just wondering if I get severance pay for if I don't make it tonight, vacation pay or whatever. Because I was on every night when I was on vacation.
It's not my broadcast. You have to talk with the big guy, Nick.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. That's for sure. But,
yeah.
So, anyways, we're just sitting here.
I get whatever square they give me, and that's just about it.
Yeah. Yeah, you never know if you're going to be on the top or the bottom or where. But
I'm happy wherever it is. It's the American Rebellion, 7 to 9, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern, down on the American Rebellion blogger page. Yep, we're back on the American Rebellion blogger page. So look for all of us there. So tonight is Monday. Anything else, Mr. Chuck?
Not really. How long you been on? Hour and a half?
Hour and 18 minutes, and my stomach is saying I think I want to join my dog for breakfast.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she was getting ready and stuff this morning. Well, she can't have anything to eat or drink and everything. She drinks a lot of coffee, and she's sitting there, all I want is coffee, she's starting to get a headache because she's getting caffeine withdrawals. So So I don't know. She'll be all right. But so hopefully the procedure should be just about done now, and then she's got to go through recovery and all that other bullshit. So I have no idea, no idea how longer it's going to be. But,
like half hour.
You're there, wait.
Depending.
Did get a chance to go out and let my daughter's dogs out. She's in Texas right now, and her boyfriend had to go to school down in Chicago, so Dad got to go out and see the pups. So
good.
Went out for breakfast, and now we're back here at the hospital for the day. It looks like. So.
Wait a minute.
Anyways,
You drove from Wisconsin to Texas to have breakfast.
Yeah, my granddaughter that lives down in Florida had a competition over in Dallas. She had cheerleading competition. They took first place too, by the way.
Cool. How far is Dallas from Wisconsin?
Oh hell, it's a 2-hour flight.
Oh, okay. You flew. I thought you.
Yeah. Well, my daughter that lives here by me, she wanted to go see a competition, and she took our grandson that lives up here also, and the grandson and granddaughter are pretty close, so they haven't seen each other in quite a while. So they went down for the weekend to spend some time with them. So
that means that place is easy to reach.
Oh, hang on, Dave.
Good. All right, Chuck.
I'll call you right back.
Is that the
You
call?
have to think. I would have waited till the end of.
Okay, I got to go.
That's the call. All right, Chuck. Okay.
Good to see you. I'm glad I was able to stop in, at least,
Glad
you do.
you could.
for a couple minutes.
All
So,
right.
yeah, if I don't make it tonight, no biggie. We'll be back on Tuesday. So,
Yep.
right.
All right.
Take care, everybody,
Thanks, Chuck.
chatters and everything.
All right,
Sorry I
definitely.
got in here late, but that's
No,
life.
it's okay. It's all
All
right.
right, guys.
All right, go make your call. I don't want to keep you back. All right, Chuck Cook, who joins us Monday, Wednesday, Friday on our Boogie with the Bull morning caffeines, and a lot on Tuesdays and Thursdays, our Boogie with the Bull Uncensored, which are at 7 p.m. Eastern. Anybody is welcome to join. Cameron, you got a mic, you're more than welcome to join us. If you have a working cell phone camera and a mic, you can try it. They're not always the best reliable thing. I recommend if you have a laptop, you use that camera, or if you have a desktop, you get a camera that has a built-in mic and do it that way, because the hosts will get tired of you popping in and out. Best if you're not sure whether or not it will work with you, let me know, and I'll set up a test with you for our broadcast. It'll be just you and I, and we'll see that it works. And if it does, then like I said, you're more than welcome to join us Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 10 a.m. And you're more than welcome to join us Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7 p.m. And then if you get crazy, Mary will invite you onto the American Rebellion, and who knows, maybe you'll get some other shows there. I got nothing better to do than sit here and be on my else's broadcast and play on Facebook all day long, because I am a obsessed social media addict. But it is what it is. So thank you, Chuck, for coming on. Michael Stewart, thank you for your comments in the live chat. And we'll scroll up. John Bailey, thank you for watching. And there were a whole bunch. Patrick Bratcher and Ted Hutchison, thank you for watching as well. If you like the broadcast, take the broadcast and share it on Facebook anywhere you can. If you really like the broadcast, go to the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel and take it from there and share it anywhere you want to. Share it off of Facebook. I just ask that you let me know so I can go and see if we got any response. And if we can, we'll try to make sure that the podcasts get there if we can't get the live there. It's kind of hard to take my attention and grab a device and start copying a link from like YouTube and then making sure I get it sent everywhere and get that posted. I want to be able to do it. It just means that I have to get up earlier and do a good idea. The next place we're looking at is X. I just have to be sure we're going to get at least some kind of response before we start paying the money for it. But anyway, please pay attention to what is going on in the United States as well as what is going on around the world. Make sure you stick up for what you think is good, and you stick up for what you think is not good, and you let everybody know. You don't have to agree with me all of the time. You don't have to agree with me any of the time. You can come onto a broadcast and still disagree with me the entire time you are here. I will not go Howard Stern and make you walk the plank sound effects button and kick you off. Nope. You just have to respect everybody else on the broadcast and everybody else in the live chat, because they will try to do their best to respect you. Anybody is more than welcome. Told you Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 10 a.m. here on the Dave Glovin Profile Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel. Tuesday, Thursday on the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel and the Dave Glovin Profile at 7 p.m. Eastern. And then you can always watch me if and when I'm on the American Rebellion Friday, Saturday. I'm pretty good at trying to get most of them done. It depends on what my wife has planned the next morning or what I have to get up the next morning. And if I want to try to help her get to sleep early. Sometimes we have great sleep here and sometimes we don't. Anyway, I'm Dave Glovin. You're not. Thanks for watching Double Beats for Victory. This Boogie with the Bull broadcast is coming to an end. This is the part of the program where I tell you you have been watching Boogie with the Bull, Monday Morning Caffeine, a copyrighted presentation of the No Budget Broadcasting Company. And I wish you all well. So what I have to do is kick that